Alright, look like now we're live, so hello, Beatbot Game-a-thon 2022 people. I'm GhostSenpai. Snow Brothers is one of my speed games, but I'm pretty sure that most of people who are here, well, everybody who is here, we're not expecting to see this. This is not the Snow Brothers game I'm gonna be playing. This is the original game, which is Base Up, which is a really amazing good title. You haven't played it, you should do it. But in this case, what we are waiting for is just for this thing you're gonna be seeing on a bit. Which is Snow Brothers 3 Magical Adventure. Basically, this is a bootleg title from, well, based on the game I have shown before. And well, now I'm gonna prepare everything on my side, so with that I'm gonna be ready to start with the action. But first of all, I need to make a big disclaimer. First of all, on behalf of all Mexican gaming community, I apologize for the big piece of crap you're going to see. And why I say this is because I have no doubts that this was made by a Mexican. So let's start on 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, this is Snow Brothers, and at the same time it's not Snow Brothers. The original game was released back in 1990, and this is a bootleg game that was made in 2002 based on what we can see on the mainstream, because there is few to no information about the game online, which complicates a bit the research task in order to get some information about the game in general. So let's just pretend we know what are we doing. Let's pretend that we know which is the game plot and that kind of things, because I know nothing about this, because again there's not so many information related to the game, which complicates a bit the task of the commentary. But don't worry, at least that's on the history side, because there's still a lot of things we can say about this game. Again, as I mentioned before, it looks like this game was made on 2002, which means that in that year, if we remember the 21st night of September, that is going to happen in a few days. That was the Korea-Japan World Cup year. So this game is basically based on that, because the characters are using the Mexican soccer soccer team uniform that well, a similar pattern to the one that was used on that World Cup year. And it's interesting to have this year also the game, as we're gonna be having the Qatar World Cup. So it's really interesting considering that now this bootleg is 20 years old. And okay, I was really lucky. I got all the 3 potions on this stage, so now the new challenge is gonna be try to keep them, because even if on the original game is a bit complicated to try to don't die, the stuff turns worse in this game, and I won't explain the reasons behind that on a bit. Because basically this is still being Snow Bros in general, about the way about how you get control in the game and that kind of things. But there are a lot of noticeable changes. Well, I get trolled by an enemy. That's a problem with this game, unfortunately, but when things happens. I have most of this stuff considered here, and I consider that it's good for a marathon that I got this bonus, which is a nonsense one that just make me lose time, but for the memes it's really good to show it. And well, the game sometimes doesn't want to cooperate, like in this occasion. So what the heck is Snow Bros? Why the game is bad compared with the original? Well, in this case, the game counts are similar to Bubble, but instead of bubbles we have snowballs. That, as you can see, the snowballs for some reason get turned into soccer balls, so that's something interesting. Also, we have new enemies, like that one on the middle is not it's maybe a ripoff from other enemy. No, that's an original enemy. There's nothing similar on the original game. And also some of the new things that were introduced in this game were entirely the boss fights. All boss fights are entirely different. So in this case, with this boss fight, it's a bit similar to the original game, as we need to. Well, there's a boss in the left of the screen that is gonna keep jumping there and throwing some enemies, and with that enemies, once we freeze them and we can throw them against the boss. But this is not the case at all on this game, unfortunately, as you can see, this boss also can jump to the left. This is something that doesn't happen in the original game, so this was some of the new stuff that were introduced in this title. And also, if you had a good eye, you may notice that there was like a health bar at the top right of the screen, which shows the health of the boss. It's good that I have died here, definitely. It's good. So with this, I just can refill my lives. Expect that this is gonna be happening in most of the run. And this is gonna be something really good, as for example, these enemies that throw fire are really annoying. Those are just reskins from original enemies. These guys with the masks are new entirely. So what this guy does is that after some time they're gonna be shooting their masks like knives or something like that. So. And like we have, well, some end stages are changed a little bit, mostly on textures, more than nothing. And also, with all the items we have between points, we have power-ups. Most of them are just simply reskins of the original stuff. So. Here we have 4 potions, the red, blue, and yellow, and also we can get the green one, which is bonus one, but those sprites also were changed. So it's better just to have speed. Well, this is the 4th one, the balloon. So it's really interesting that I began talking about the potions and I got this. So basically this just turns you into a balloon, and if you touch an enemy, the effect will be similar like if a rolling snowball is touching an enemy. So basically here, if a rolling snowball touches an enemy, what is going to happen is that that enemy is gonna fly through the stage as you have seen, and once it lands on any section of the game, it's gonna turn into an item. For example, with that ninja, that's entirely a reskin, because also in the original game we have a similar enemy that, again, it's a ninja, but for some reason now it looks more childish on this version. In the original game it looks a bit intimidating, but this is not the case on this game, definitely. And also this enemy that is one of the new ones that I'm defeating when it appears on the middle of the stage. It's really annoying, as it can reach you throwing some blue balls in 4 different sections. The sections are the same all the time, or every time diagonally, so you shouldn't feel so worried about that. And okay, it's fine. That's good. I have expected a lot of deaths, not one like that, but again, the fire enemies are a real problem here in this game. Because one of the main changes that make this game awful is the fact that while most of the stages remain similar to the original game, those ones have changes on its design. That, for example, there were some walls that are not present here, or they added new sections to separate them, and that kind of things. And in general, all those changes turned this bootleg game into something really awful to play, plus some other bugs that we're gonna be seeing later. Mostly due to that is why the game is really awful. And well, this is another of the new bosses. This wasn't really changed. I'm gonna die on purpose. I prefer to be with all my lives here, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna perform a small data abuse, and with this I'm gonna restart this boss fight, as this is probably one of the more... This is definitely the second annoying boss fight. The first one, we're gonna be watching that later. The reason why this is annoying is because in the original game you had a big frog that was throwing bombs. In this case, the bombs get thrown into pumpkins, but the boss all the time was on the floor or simply spawned to the top, on the top floor of the screen. But on this version of the game, what do we have is simply that we have this I don't know if this is a kind of pumpkin, or well, you can get your idea about what does that boss is, because I don't know. But at the same time, this is a really silly boss fight, because obviously you need to hit the boss with the snowballs to get rid of it, right? But well, there's something interesting to mention here, as if you wait enough time, what is gonna happen is that the game is just gonna simply move you to the next boss fight. So that's mostly what am I aiming to do. That's why I'm not trying to defeat the enemies, as it's really RNG based, the position of the boss, and not all the time is gonna be in a position where you can simply try to attack it, which again complicates the task of completing this stage. So I just prefer to be safe and get rid of all the enemies and just wait until the game decides to move me to the next boss fight, and that's everything. I don't remember exactly the amount of time you need for that, but just in case, in order to try to optimize some stuff, what I'm gonna be trying to do also is just to keep some enemies that I can try to throw. But that's hard, again, because well, it's gonna keep the boss is gonna keep shooting and releasing more enemies, which are not gonna help to us on our task of trying to reach them. And as you have seen, the game simply just told me that I won, and that's everything. You don't need to feel worried about trying to defeat the boss. Just try to survive, but that's everything. And also, if you get trapped in one of the rolling snowballs and you get rid of it, you will have some invincibility frames for like a second. So I used to do that, to use that on my side in order to get rid of some enemies. And also, suppose that the original game had used to have some screen transitions. For some reason, those are not present here. The game just simply puts you in the next stage, and that's everything. That's the way this game works. And mainly, those are the reasons why this is really bad. Because and also there was something new that was implemented into this game, which is a senseless attack, because you can shoot from the left to the right and it always goes down. But if you keep shooting and press up, you're gonna be shooting up to the top section of the screen, which again, it's pointless, because that has no honest use, to be honest. Yeah, and the second boss is one of the reasons why this is really bad. I'm not gonna lie, I just learned this to submit it to a Game-a-thon. I was never expected to play this game. And then there's an interesting story about how I met this game, because usually a lot of people used to know that this kind of things exist due to the internet. But in my case, I think it was in 2006, if I remember correctly, that I went to my mom's hometown and I went to a store. It's typical, it's really usual that you find family stores with arcade machines, or at least back in the day that used to happen. So I remember seeing one of those machines. Okay, I got struck there, so that's the reason why I died. So I remember seeing one of those machines, and I saw I saw the game there that was named Snow Bros. 3 Sin Sonido, which in English is Snow Bros. 3 without sound. Because that was an arcade machine that had multiple games. Usually there were those were one of the first arcade machines where a PC was inside. So that was a PC using a modified MS-DOS version that was called SNESky. That was one of the first bootleg operating systems for arcade machines back in the day here in my country, in Mexico. And now, third boss. In the original game we have two birds, but in this case we have these enemies extracted from Doom. I think those are from Doom. I'm not quite sure. Sorry if I get that wrong. And also, as you can see, sometimes if I keep a specific amount of sprites on screen, I'm gonna those are gonna looks like they disappeared, but they're still being there. That's another problem that this game has, and that's gonna be mostly a problem on the next boss fight, as some bosses, some enemies are gonna looks like they're not on screen, but they still being there. I associate that mostly to sprite limitations, but at the same time I wanna associate that to just the terrible game design this has. Because this has awful compressed music, it has awful controls, it has awful enemies, it has awful everything. So this is mostly why this is a bad game. So this is a Suno Budosesu ROM hack. And I think I have nothing else to mention. So let's try to find something enjoyable on this garbage. Because at the end of the day, this is the reason why we're here, right? To try to find some good stuff in pretty bad games like this. But I told you, the original game has nothing to see with this. And for example, this is one of the stages that were changed because it's not supposed you can come to the top of the screen from the left section. There's a piece of floor there, and they got rid of it here. And also it's supposed that this was another section here where the enemies are gonna be there, and it was just put upside down. As you can keep walking on the top, something that doesn't happen in the original game. Some stages like this, I just got a few platforms reduced, and it's a real problem. I got stuck here, mostly when a balloon is outside, so there's a chance that I'm gonna be dying here. Because in order to get outside of these things, what you need to do is that you need to climb over a snowball. So well, I was lucky there, because otherwise I was simply gonna die. Also, these enemies, the real enemies, are white monkeys that again throw some fireballs. So these are one of the reskinned enemies. And for some reason I'm getting a lot the bonus item. But this is the first time that I'm seeing a lot of these things on this run, and that has never happened to me before. Okay, I got a balloon, that was really good. And also, there's like with the original arcade game, there's no way to manipulate the potions of this game. So that's another RNG factor you need to deal with with. Oh, come on! Well, what happened there is another common problem with the original game that turns worse into this bootleg title. And it was really bad that I died like that, but when things happen, you need to learn how to deal with it. I would have preferred to die when I start the next boss fight, as I wanna get a live refill. So here I'm just gonna hope I just can simply keep all the amount of lives I'm having right now. Because if up to this point you haven't understood correctly why this is garbage, wait until you see the next boss fight, which is gonna happen after this stage. There are a few good things also. For example, this is a really annoying stage on the arcade game, as those middle sections, well, I lost a life, but whatever. And those middle sections, again, you cannot escape from there, and there if you don't have a snowball where you can jump over it. Okay, it's fine. It's really good that I am on my last life because I wanna try something. And that something is just to make a dead abuse once I start with the next stage, which is gonna be the boss fight. Because you really wanna get as much lives as possible on this boss fight. And this is where all things are gonna turn as awful as possible, because each of these schools throws two fire flames that you have seen that each of them just throw one, but the reality is that there are two. But again, due to terrible game design and or sprite limitations, we don't see them on screen. That's the reason why I'm just gonna keep shooting. It's gonna look like I'm shooting randomly, but that's not true. I'm just keeping shooting to keep me alive, because I don't know if I defeated those fire enemies or not. So I'm just gonna be alive, dude. I don't wanna die, so I need to be really careful with this. And if you don't believe me, play this game casually. But I'm not crazy enough to try to show you that, definitely. Because due to that problem with the game, well, as you have seen, I died, unfortunately. Looks like there was no enemy close to me, but there was. And it was one of those flames. And again, one of those flames attacked me. And this is really bad. I really hope that I don't die here. I just need to defeat at least one of these guys. Okay, there we go. Now we enter into the semi-easy mode, and oh my god, I wasn't expecting this, so there's a high chance that I run out of the estimate. Hopefully that's not gonna be a problem. Yeah, that really hurt me, because once you defeat one of those guys, this turns into an easy mode, as now you don't need to deal with that problem with the invisible sprites. Again, I was catched for one of those flames. This is really terrible. And yes, imagine you just failing all your shootings. I'm just gonna keep here. Again, one of those invisible flames. Oh my god, this is really terrible. Because right now I just missed. Right now I don't know on which positions where the flames are gonna be. Oh my god, this is really bad. Oh my god, I was not expecting this. I knew that practicing before my run was gonna be something really bad. So I'm just gonna try to reach, be able to reach as far as possible during this run, definitely. Are you serious? It's not supposed that a fire flame was there. Oh my god, I'm not liking how this looks, definitely. I'm not liking how this looks. But yeah, mostly this is one of the best examples you can have about why this is totally crap. Also, shout out to Mr. T, aka Mr. Torture, who was the guy who introduced me into bad games, speedrunning talking. He told me that this game was featured on Accuso Grande. And after that I said, okay, it was a really good game to include, as well, if people reaches this boss fight, they're not gonna notice that awful bug that this game has. And it's really awful. So that's why I keep shooting like this. I cannot get distracted by that, definitely. And also, I'm just can't move to specific spots, mostly since there are some places where there's gonna be a higher chance that one of those fire flames is, and just complicate things. And also try to reduce the amount of enemies I have on screen, because that helps a bit in order to get all the fire skulls without problems on screen. And none of them hit the other skull. I don't like how this is going. Honestly, I don't like how this is going. This haven't took place on my practices. So let's try to reach as far as possible in this game. No, are you serious that this keeps happening? Oh my god. Oh my god, I don't like how this is going. I mean, I was just practicing, I was able to finish runs, and I cannot believe that in the boss stage, where I know it's the worst one, but I wasn't having problems with my practices, then I just began failing like this. Because another thing that I need to mention is that you just have a single button to shoot, which complicates things, because basically this game is just smashing buttons, and that's all you need to do. And also having just a single button for that is why this task gets even more complicated to perform. Okay, skulls are gonna come from the left. Are you serious? It's supposed that I defeated them. And also, the only enemy you can freeze to throw as nobles or these dinosaurs. That's something I haven't mentioned, that for some reason looked like the people, because we don't know if this was made by a single person of different people. Oh my god, again! But for some reason, the people behind the development of this thing look like we're big dinosaur fans. No way, dude! Oh, come on. Yeah, because what I'm trying to do is just to simply defeat a single enemy. Yeah, because when I was practicing this, when my PB was at 29, but I was practicing a few days ago, and I got a PB that I haven't recorded as I was helping with some stuff in another marathon. So there I got a 23 something. And my resellers were like at 27, 28, but at this point I don't think I'm gonna definitely complete this. I'm just gonna try to defeat this boss fight and reach as far as possible, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish my run, just to don't compromise the Martin's estimate. Dude, I keep shooting to the front, in front of me, in order to be able to make a hit to these guys, and then those flames appear, those invisible flames are present. I cannot say they appear because you cannot see them. So how do you know that they have appeared? How do you know that they have really appeared? Okay, the ones on there. Okay, there are two. Usually they come on pair, they don't use to jump. And this another problem that I haven't mentioned about this game is definitely that okay, that was a mistake from my side to jump like that. But another problem is that while on the original game you get some kind of linear shootings, and this game there have a small curve, so this also complicates more the task of being able to defeat the enemies. I just need to defeat one. Just a single one. And with that I just can get focused into completing the other problems. The one that is close to die is the one on the left. Are you serious that another invisible flame attacked? My goodness, I cannot believe this is happening. Okay, this is gonna be my last attempt. I'm just gonna try to defeat this guy, and then I'm gonna perform my mercy kill. I don't want to compromise the marathon time. Why Soccer World? Because this game was released on 2002, which was the Korea-Japan World Cup year. And it's supposed that the characters are dressed with the Mexican soccer team uniform. Okay, I'm just gonna keep here. I wanna wait for the flames. If one jumps and the other one does, that means that I have defeated both of them. Yeah, and since that dinosaur is not jumping, that means that there were flames here. Are you serious? It's not supposed there should move in here. Dude, I don't know why today everything just decided to be like this. Oh my goodness, and it's gonna be really bad as we are not gonna be able to see the ending scene, that it's something really interesting. And again, sorry if I... Okay, I don't want to compromise the marathon schedule unless the staff allow me to do that. But I think that for now I have nothing else to show here. I don't want to continue with the run. If the staff want to give me another 10 minutes to try to do it, I can do it. Otherwise, I'm just gonna do the mercy kill here. So I cannot believe, honestly, that I'm failing on this boss. I know that it's annoying, but not at this level. But well, I feel really bad about not being able to showcase the ending here, as it was something amazing. So I think I'm just gonna keep practicing this game and give it a try to a future Bit Bad Game-a-thon event. Maybe giving more estimate, because I think that my main problem first was my estimate. Maybe a 35 was gonna be something good, but I thought that I was gonna be able to do something better. But I know that we are a bit behind on schedule, so I don't wanna keep compromising the marathon schedule. So I feel really bad about this mercy kill. It's really rare that I do this kind of things on marathons, but I promise that maybe not the next year, but on a future edition of the Big Bad Game-a-thon, I'm gonna make sure I can deal properly with this. Maybe getting an arcade style controller, because I'm playing this with a DualShock 4, which is a really annoying way to play this game, as you just have a single button for to shoot. You'll be able to make shootings. But well, again, I feel really bad for this. This is not my usual marathons, and well, just to do it all, I know there's a Japanese restream of this marathon. So before I leave, I just wanna say Nihongo no komentari mo arigatou gozaimasu. And well, I think that's everything for my side. I was GhostSenpai. Unfortunately, the goose effect attacked me really hard on this run, and I was not able to finish this. But this doesn't mean that the rest of the runs are gonna be having the same luck. So please cheer the next runners. We're still having a good amount of amazing crappy runs to see. So thanks again, everybody, for this. I really apologize for what happened, and just